guys, so I'm working on cleaning up my graveyard here. Most of these parts are good. This had a bunch of bad parts on it, and this is all just loaded with junk parts. So put it on Craigslist for free, come get it. And I'm getting rid of this workout stand. I don't know what I want to do with this bell housing. This is one I cut off of the Nissan transmission. I don't feel like I have a use for it, but I don't feel like I want to get rid of it yet. And then this is the boneyard. I guess this is all the broken parts or parts I don't want. A couple bad starters, some heads that got smashed. The one 6 liter that I windowed the block. There's the windage tray. Everything's just junk. All this stuff is junk. I don't want it. All the bent pistons and broken pistons, bent rods. I just got to make sure I don't give away my differential there. Old radiator from hard body, and another bad starter. So this whole big pile of junk, I'm just getting rid of it. Finally gonna part with my bicycle wheel that I grinded out to run a chain off of a windshield wiper motor. Finally gonna part with that thing after a couple years of nothingness. Well, let's do it. This racking, I originally put this racking in as I wanted to be able to have like a spare engine, spare transmission underneath it, and like a couple good heads waiting to go just in case. I got a lot of extra stuff up here, lifters, rockers, bearings. I'm starting to accumulate some Gen 4 stuff, and I got a bunch of intakes. A couple of them are loaded with metal though from last time I blew up one of the engines. It's like caked with metal, so I'm probably just gonna junk that one, but got a lot of spare parts. But I want to clean this thing up so it actually looks a little better and has good parts on it instead of just a bunch of junk taking up space. Transmission though, I'm not going to get rid of this one yet. Obviously the bell housing is broken, so the rest of the case is good. So I was thinking about maybe trying to do some type of a super bell. That's why I've been keeping it, just in case I wanted to cut the bell housing off and actually build a transmission and put like a super bell or something on it. All the internal parts are good in this one except for the direct drum is toast. So we just have to replace the clutches and valve body, and everything else is still good in there. Alright guys, I got this new transmission cooler in there. This is like one of the 25 row or 30 row or whatever. So I just built some new brackets. Spray painted them blue so they don't rust. And I didn't have any black paint. So I left the hoses kind of long because I am going to come off of here with a 90. I bought straight fittings. I should have bought not 90 fittings. This part is not so bad, but back by the transmission, it doesn't actually, it hits the tunnel. So I went with these little fittings here, and this is the one that goes in the transmission. I just did a straight barb fitting, so I'm gonna do a 90. So I ordered some different fittings. So what I did for now, I just ran the same lines that I was running before. It's basically the factory line cut down, and then I just run the hose over the top of the line with a few hose clamps on it. So I'm going to try to do that, take it for a drive. I do have the heater hooked up now, so I'm basically going to see if I can go for a long drive, probably like an hour or more, and try to dial everything in while it's cold. And then I might come back and let it sit outside and come down to temp so I can work on like the cold starts, because I'm going to be driving it outside and leaving it sit overnight and stuff. So I'll let it sit in the driveway, let it cool down, and just see if it starts. Cold start first, and then I'm going to clean the garage because it's a disaster. So this thing is finally ready to be outside and drivable. So yeah, let's go for a ride. Alright guys, making a little bit of a change, pulling some fuel out. It's running kind of rich, like 13.5s. So we're going to pull a little bit out, but as you can see, I'm in a t-shirt. You can't see my breath, so you know I'm not lying. So it's actually warm in here. It's comfortable riding around in a t-shirt. So here's working pretty good. I actually think it's working too good. I might have to turn it off once in a while. So good thing. let's talk a little bit about that burnout. So a lot of you guys have been asking to see a four-wheel burnout for a while, and I'm sure there will be more, and I'll probably try to do them better. I'm even debating tying the truck to something and just doing like a stationary four-wheel burnout, something like that. But I wanted to test it today, and it's very misty outside today, and there's still some snow on the ground. So the area that I did that in, there was like a thin coating of like frost or snow. The ground was wet, basically. There was also a big chunk of snow that I started in. So it doesn't seem like it's much, or not really that impressive of a burnout, because you're expecting to see wheels spinning and a lot of smoke and all this other junk. But the reason that I think it's impressive, or I'm happy with it, is it didn't do that. It wasn't spinning a lot, and there wasn't a lot of smoke when the ground was still wet and there was snow under the tires. So that means that I think the four-wheel drive is working very well, because it spun a little bit, but it moved forward very fast. So, and that thing I launched at like 3,500 RPM, and I hit 19 pounds of boost during that burnout. So I'm pretty excited about that. It makes me wonder what it's gonna do on a dry tire when I give it some sauce. All right, guys, so you guys know that I have been looking at doing some like studded ice tires, and I did post a thing on my A21 Bravo Facebook page that's in the description about using this. So these, I have a set of these 24s. 3 of them are broken, they're cracked. 2 of them are good. I've been trying to sell them for like ever, for like $100 for the whole set, which I think is pretty fair considering 2 of the rims and wheels are brand new. And this is a wheel off of the Chrysler 300 that I also had these wheels on. These are the stock wheels. These are the same bolt pattern as the Ranger. So these have been sitting in my storage unit for probably 5 or 6 years. I have a full set of them. So it's not going to hurt my feelings if I poke holes in them and do the studded tires with these. I was thinking about trying to stud these, which I might do if I really get ambitious about it. But it's going to take a lot of work to do this, because these are cracked. Let's find the cracks. So I have a bunch of these, 3 of these that are cracked. I have 2 good ones, and 3 of them are cracked. So now that I have a TIG welder, I was thinking, why don't I try to fix these things, or just for giggles, see if I can repair it and throw some studs in the tires. So what I did today, I went out to Fleet Farm, went to the store, and I started to price out different options for bolts. So I thought it'd be really cool to do the big wheel with some bolts for studs, like sharpened bolts instead of drywall screws. But what I was doing the math on was like 1 in the center for the row here, and then like 3 in each one of these little wing dings here. So the math that I came up with was about 1,600 bolts that I would need for a set of 4 tires. So I looked at the box price of them, and it would be about $100 to do just the bolts, but then I would still need washers and nuts, and then all the time sharpening. So it would probably come out to about what I estimated with doing like some Flex Seal liner, because I don't think I'm going to find a tube for this. Probably around $300, and $300 is I don't know, kind of seems like a lot just to do something to be funny. But yeah, it's not really off the table. It just seems like a lot of dicking around to fix the weld, or fix the crack with a weld, and then spend $200 to $300 on bolts to get it to stick. So these, if I can get these to fit on the truck without the tire or the rim hitting in the caliper or anything else, I'll probably just use these, and then I might actually do a tube inside those. I was pricing out the tubes, and they're like $15 to $20 a piece for the tubes, and then I could shit a whole bunch of screws in there. So I priced all that stuff out today, and that would be about, I could probably do it for under $100 for a full set. So that might be going on the truck, unless I can get a hold of the other guy. I mean, like I said, I've been going back and forth with a guy who bought a set of Jeep wheels for like 40 bucks for a couple days now. So trying to get those things, but if that doesn't work, I'm gonna stub these things. That's it for this one, guys. Not a whole lot of exciting stuff going on, but the truck is out and about and it's moving pretty decent. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up this garage. Look at this crime scene. This is what I'm left with. We got coolant and cat litter, some transmission fluid. So this whole big mess wasn't even here today. But then I pulled my battery charger out to go on the other side of the garage, and I spilt this bucket that was like half full of coolant and tranny fluid, and made a bigger mess than I needed to. So this is just kind of getting irritating to me, and I did clear out, I'm going to show you all my garbage right now. I did clear out this whole section right here. So all that stuff that was in there is gone. All of my bad parts are gone. I did keep this head. It looks like there's some metal chunks stuck in one of the valves, but I might be able to relap it. So that one's not completely destroyed, so I'm going to save that one. But yeah, I'm going to go through and spend some time and get all this stuff cleaned up, organize the good parts that are still out, and tuck the welder back away, and not make this place such a shithole. So I don't know about you guys, but when I work on stuff, I focus on working on stuff and not cleaning at all. So that's something maybe I need to get a little bit better at, is work and then clean a little bit at the end of each day. But sometimes you just really press for time and it doesn't work like that. That's all I have today. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.